everyone, welcome to a new demo build video. Today I'll be showing you my Trickster build. This build has a decent clear speed, can be fairly tanky, and has some absolutely insane single target damage. As shown in the first part of this video, this build can kill most adds with just one shot, and will absolutely destroy any boss that comes your way. Most enemies won't be standing for more than a few seconds if you play it right. This build features no epic or legendary gear at all. This build's clear speed relies on your weapons, and our skills won't be helping us often. Keep this in mind. The survivability is pretty good, mostly because the enemies won't be alive for long. However, with the right weapons, and by playing towards the Trickster's class healing mechanic, you can survive most longer encounters too. The single target of this build relies on only one perk, but we will be using our other two perks to make this build smoother to play and allow us to kill everything in the demo under 15 seconds. For our skills, we'll be using Hunt the Prey to cover the distance between you and your target, making this build faster and allowing you to avoid having to take damage running up to a boss or a mini-boss. Next we have Slow Trap, which will make hitting headshots easier and will prevent bosses from quickly doing special attacks and movement abilities. Slow Trap will also prevent you from taking too much damage when fighting multiple enemies, as most bullets will be slowed, making them easy to dodge. Lastly, we're making use of Twisted Rounds. This ability will increase our damage and is the only reason this build has so much single target damage. However, to absolutely destroy bosses, we'll have to pair it with some mods, which I will discuss later in the video. For our class points, I heavily recommend going with Bulletstorm to increase reload speed, which allows us to make more use of Slow Trap to land our shots. We'll also be getting Arm Strike, which increases damage when close to an enemy. This will play nicely with the Hunt the Prey skill. Next up we have our mods. The first mod is gonna be Twisted Fate, which increases our crit damage by 30%, giving us a nice boost to our damage. Secondly, we'll be using additional mag, so we can put out more damage while only using our skill once, instead of having to wait for the cooldown. Next up, I recommend going with Weakening the Prey, mostly for interruption. This stops targets from performing special moves when you teleport towards them, which usually prevents them from making any weird movements while you're trying to hit their head. This mod may be switched out for perks more focused on clear speed, as it won't affect our single target damage. The other mods are up to you to choose, as the mods for Twisted Rounds in the gloves and pants are mostly useless to us. Try to get as much anomaly power and firepower as possible, and only get increased to max health if you don't have a piece with firepower or anomaly power that fits the build. Our main gun will be a revolver with vulnerability rounds, and make sure you have vulnerability rounds, as it gives us a massive increase in single target damage. Also try to get armor piercing or crit damage instead of weapon life leech, for a slight increase in damage. Pair this revolver with a primary weapon of your choice. I recommend getting at least one weapon with either Shield Maiden or Essence Thief to increase your survivability when waiting on your skill cooldowns. To get the maximum out of this build, you have to play boss encounters in a simple routine. First, use your Hunt the Prey skill to close the distance between your target. Then activate Slow Field and make sure you have your revolver equipped. Activate Twisted Rounds and make sure you land all your headshots. Remember that Twisted Rounds has no timer and can basically last forever if you choose not to fire any bullets. When you have successfully shot both of your revolver magazines, most targets should either be dead or easily finishable by switching guns or meleeing. If the boss starts using a movement skill or other special attacks during your reload, use your melee to interrupt it. I hope you found this guide useful. May it serve you well. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it and subscribe if you want to see more builds. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or ask me live on Twitch, the link will be in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.